Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. Welcome to the Black Financial Channel. That's theblackfinancialchannel.com. I wanted to give you guys a quick thought in terms of what the market's doing. If you've been following the stock market, you've noticed that we've had a couple of days of declines. I'm not alarmed about anything in particular, mainly because we had so many good days in a row, almost an unnatural number of good days. So at some point, the sun won't come out anymore. It's going to rain for a little while. So right now it's raining. You got some profit taking. You have some prices dropping. Really good unemployment data, though. Actually, we dropped below 10% unemployment, maybe 8.4%, something like that. And so the fundamentals look pretty solid. One thing I want to warn you about is just something that could precipitate further declines in speculative stocks like Tesla is Robinhood. Robinhood attracts a lot of retail investors, uninformed investors who tend to buy based on speculation as opposed to market fundamental values. They don't care what the stock price should be. They only pay what the stock price is. Well, unfortunately, individuals like that on Robinhood, many of them are gamblers. Many of them are speculators. I'm not saying that that's who you are. If you're on Robinhood, this is no offense. I use Robinhood too. But what happens is that speculative gambling mindset, what that does also is it, particularly during a time where the market's doing really well, is it can create overconfidence or irrational exuberance. And irrational exuberance is basically when, almost like being like financially drunk, where people just sort of get really confident, or like somebody's on drugs, they feel like Superman, right? Well, that leverage can come into play because Robinhood allows you to buy on margin. They allow you to borrow money to buy more stock so that your returns are higher. You get a stronger financial hit. Again, it's just like a drug. Money affects your brain just like a drug, so they can get a bigger hit for lower investment. So you think about when crack hit the scene, how crack was like cheaper and it took less time for the high to hit in, and that's why crack was so dangerous. Well, right now we're dealing with financial crack, and so basically with crack, as you know, the highs are really high and then the lows get really low. I've never used crack, by the way. I don't mess with drugs or alcohol, but I grew up in the 80s and the 90s. And so I think that what you're going to probably see, unfortunately, is further possible decline in certain speculative stocks, particularly tech stocks that were doing so well during the pandemic, because what happens is that there's a dark side to margin, to borrowing, to buy stock. When you go buy stock on margin, you eventually might run into what is called a margin call. A margin call is when the value of your stock has dropped so low that Robinhood hits you up, knock, hey, we need you to put some more cash up so you can have enough skin in the game for us to protect our investment, because they're not going to loan you money without managing their own risk. So when they see the value of your stock dropping, it's like the value of your home equity dropping or something like that. Like the bank is going to step up and want to protect their investment. So margin calls require the individual with the account to either come up with cash or to sell stock. And that's my key point. Some people have the cash. They just put the cash in the account. It's all good. They can hold the stock. Some people have to sell stock. Well, guess what? When there's more selling of a stock, then that pushes down the price. There's downward pressure on the price. So ultimately what you might see is you may see a further decline in the value of Tesla stock and other speculative companies, mainly because of all these margin calls and all the speculative investors who are now going to be dealing with the fact that chickens do come home to roost. And that's why leverage can be a good thing if you use it responsibly, but it can be a bad thing if you use it irresponsibly. So don't use leverage irresponsibly. You may be able to buy on margin, but you got to be really careful and just kind of know what it is before you step in. So that's my 2 cents. I'm out of here, guys. If you watch drboycetv.com today at 3:15 p.m., the rapper, activist, mogul Ice Cube is coming through, and we have a lot of great things to talk about when it comes to blackness and ownership. Those are 2 things I really believe in. And also make sure you subscribe. Subscribe to the Black Financial Channel. It's theblackfinancialchannel.com. Follow the Black Financial Channel on Instagram and all that good stuff. And if you haven't learned to buy your first share of stock, or if you want to learn more about investing for free from the Black Business School, just go to firstshareofstock.com. Firstshareofstock.com. I'm out of here, guys. Have a good day. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.